We're just rolling it, so when we want to hop into it.
I'm completing a purchase.
Is you buying comics? You're lying.
Well, it's from an auction that I won, and I got to make the payment.
What?
It's a little bit on his face, which is good.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
We're going to shut the door there so we don't hear these guys. I got the door locked, so...
it should be straight.
But I just got threatened to have my auction abilities paused.
How the fuck?
Well, I didn't...
Like to purchase from
Yeah, dude,
auction?
I just been... Oh, hold on. This is a sales call real quick. Hold on one
for it.
second. Access Plus. Let's see.
Live, baby.
Ryan with One Source Branding and Media.
GBC.
I'm doing good. How are you? Wonderful, wonderful. I see you reached out to us in regards to a website.
Take notes. That's how real sales is done. Caller number 1. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. That boy on a sales call on a podcast and making a purchase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I already checked out your website. So, do you have access to that website? Yeah. If you can get access to it, then I don't have to build anything from scratch. I can go in and modify. If you're not able to get the access, then of course we would have to start from scratch. Now tell me, did you lose, if I may ask, are you heavily invested in this? Is this a big financial loss for you, or was it done as a favor? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Mhm. Mhm.
So, I'm good with, whatever he's charging everything. But now I see, talked to him about a couple things. He hasn't changed those things. Like there's some letters in Spanish, and other stuff and everything.
Yeah.
I explained to him, if somebody's gonna send me a message or something, it'll come out in Spanish. It'll come up, and I mean, there's couple things, it needs to be.
Yeah. Especially as a home builder, right? As a home builder, you want your website to represent your craft.
Yes.
And yep, I got you. And it's definitely something we can help with. So the main thing I would say is, obviously I would want to really sit down and learn about exactly what you're looking for on the website, from the design and the visual and ambiance. We can really handle that. But figuring out what are the features you want from it, making sure that we have everything on the website that you expect. And then the main part would be finding out if you can get access to that, and if we would be able to work on what you have, or if we're going to have to start over. That would probably be the first thing we would want to find out. So
Okay.
do you think you can find that out for me and then let me know? And in the meantime, I can get some things together for you, and we can schedule something and get it going for you.
Sure. What you're asking for?
You mean the cost?
What you're asking for, like the password or something to
Oh,
into the
yeah,
website?
you don't have to give me that yet, obviously, until you choose us. Once you confirm that you would like to hire us, then we would need the username and password. I think what I would suggest is just make sure that he's going to give you that. Obviously, if
Okay.
it's a good relationship, you shouldn't have any issue with that. But,
Yeah.
we've also dealt with a lot of experiences in the past where I just want to make sure that he'd be willing to give that to you. And then I can put together a few different options for you. And then we can handle that. Is this something you're wanting to get, started ASAP? I saw you. I think you had a month on the form that you filled out. Okay.
Long as I mean, if you once you come up with the plan and and give me a call and everything, pretty much, I mean, I'll decide right away.
Okay, perfect.
Because my main priority, I mean, that's my reference,
Yeah,
the webpage. So right
Definitely.
now, it's not 100% complete, like I want to be. So the main priority is for me to be able to have, the webpage, and be able to have, if somebody's gonna want let's say, build a home,
yep,
they can just go ahead and send me a message through the webpage.
through the website,
I
yep.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
So and be able to have, what we're doing right now. We buy lots, right?
Okay.
We build houses in those lots. So by the time we take a picture of the lot where we buy the lot, there's nothing in it. By the time we finish the house, there's
Yep.
there's something different, So I want to have something, pretty much where people can be, impressed once
Yep.
they see the webpage,
Absolutely. Well, I know that's something we can accomplish for you. So let me do this. One thing I also like to do is a complete online audit. So let me just look at your entire company presence online, go through the website, and then come up with an idea. Is 24 hours fast enough for you, or would you like for me to have something a little bit sooner?
No, whenever you,
Okay.
You can have 24 hours.
Yep, I'll have you something in 24 hours just to give me enough time to go through everything and come up with a good plan. So you'll have something, and then as soon as I send it to you, let's just hop on a quick call. I'll answer any questions, and then once you green light us, I have an entire team here in office. This is what we do full time, so we'll get the ball rolling quickly for you and make sure we produce something you're happy with.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yep.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Can you text me? Actually, I have your email address. Never mind. Just wait to hear from me, and I'll follow up soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just have witnessed is a live sales call happening right on the GBC
dude,
show.
That was a
bro.
lead right there,
You
man.
never know
You
how
just
to
returning
fuck.
my call.
You don't know how these episodes are gonna start.
You never know.
It just happens.
We may have to answer the phone.
Round of
Just
applause.
like that, man. And then
That's
then
it.
I was completing a purchase on eBay.
While making a purchase on the sales call on the podcast.
Yeah, so they almost suspended my auction ability because I have just been so crazy the past 2 days. I haven't paid for an item that I won on an auction.
Oh, I got you.
So they were like nudging me like, hey,
You gotta pay
you need
this.
to get this payment in so this person can ship it. So
Damn, how quickly they get at you when they need that money, man.
They
They
want that
don't.
money.
They don't
You
play.
know, I get it though. Hey, especially if it's an auction, you want to get paid for what you sold, man. You had a lot of people bidding on it. So anyway, here we are. Today, this has been a day.
Yo,
So we're just gonna freestyle this one,
let's run it.
and then we'll be more organized. One, we've got to plug last episode.
Yeah.
It's up, so make sure that you check that out with Jeremiah.
Yep.
And then we got some clips and content going to be coming out from that interview.
Yeah.
And now we're just kind of on a non-planned, spontaneous,
Just have to get it out there.
right?
Get
And
up on the
then-
podcast
then-
and speak.
Yeah, and then we don't even know what the next episode. We haven't even planned that.
Yeah. So just so everybody's aware, like with these episodes, we are trying to get guests on here.
Yes,
We're gonna send
yes.
out applications and get some people in.
Can we put that in the description?
Probably. If you want to be featured on the next episode of GBC podcast, fill out the thing below.
Yeah,
But
we'll
we'll
have
get
to
into
figure
that.
out too if you're not local.
Yeah.
That's something we've been talking about. We have a lot of people too that we want to bring on here that have amazing stories and businesses and all
we
of this
could
stuff,
travel.
but they're not local. So outside of because I feel like a Zoom podcast would be boring.
Nah. We gotta
Oh.
go there.
Yeah, we have to take GBC.
GBC goes to
Worldwide.
Vegas. Yo. That's an idea.
Actually, that is an idea. So we should start shooting podcasts when we travel.
that'd be fire.
That is
That'd be
fire.
fire.
Actually, we may have we have a trip. We have a trip that may be
Yeah.
coming up. Hopefully, Alyssa got with both of you today about pre-check.
TSA pre-check. Talk about it.
Y'all didn't get.
Well, she told me she was doing it, but
First of
Okay.
all, I've never had. I didn't even know what pre-check was a couple months ago.
Pre-check is important, man. And I felt so bad for Jeremiah a few weeks ago when we were in Minnesota because we had to part ways because I am not gonna stand in the line and take my shoes off and all of that. don't like to do it. So get your pre-check. It's easy, it's inexpensive, and you don't have to take everything off. You can just walk through. You put your backpack, you don't have to take off your belt, you don't have to take out your laptops, you don't have to take off your shoes. You just throw your backpack in a thing and keep it moving. So we had to let Jeremiah go on his own.
I think you just don't like to be yelled at by the TSA workers because they be mad as hell sometimes when they're checking you.
They get aggressive.
They be like,
take your jackets off. Then you don't ever know what to take off.
They be yelling.
Yeah, it's like, do I need to take my watch off? Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. Yeah, I don't, and plus I just don't want to take my shoes and stuff off.
Yeah, no, it's quicker too, that TSA pre-check.
Yeah, so anyway, with that, I don't even know how we got on TSA pre-check. We're talking about taking a podcast to another place, and then it got into leaving Jeremiah, and now we're talking about TSA. So get your TSA pre-check.
Boom.
This should be getting you guys. I know now. We may have a trip coming up in the next 3 weeks. Yeah. So we're probably going to find out within the next 24 hours. That's why I have my phone handy, because we may get the call during this podcast. And if so, I'm going to answer. But we're waiting on a final decision from a account that we're really hoping to be able to work with. They're in New Jersey.
Hell yeah.
So if they commit, then one of the first steps is we're going to be hopping a plane to New Jersey. So we need to make sure you guys have pre-check. And then we got Vegas coming up sometime this summer. So we'll have to take the GBC podcast.
We have to, bro. That'll be dope. I think they would like to see it.
I think
they'd like to see that.
That would be dope.
There actually is a guy doing that already. He's kind of like, he'll go meet up with the influencer that he wants to interview, and he'll just set up shop right then and there. I mean, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, we have the stuff to do it, so we could be pretty mobile.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. It wouldn't be too bad. Just got to get everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that.
That's not tough.
So what, we'll talk, what is today? Tuesday.
Bro, it feels like a fucking Thursday or a Friday.
I don't even know what's going on. It's a whirlwind since the last podcast. When was that? Last week, right? So we've had
last
7
week? Yeah. I think that was last week we filmed it, yeah, because they come out every 2 weeks. So I think we're doubling up because we're trying to get on
we enjoy this. We're doubling up. Yeah, because Jeremiah was last Tuesday. And we should probably start filming every Tuesday anyway. So I dig it. I like that. I dig it. And I like that. I think it's good. So this the past 7 days
has been crazy, ridiculous.
What have you had going on? You got a lot going on.
Yeah, finding a new spot to move. I recently got addicted to comics. Fun fact, it all started with just vlogging my man over here collecting comics. Next thing you know, I'm in the antique store and I'm looking at vintage cameras, right? But then what catches my eye is a vintage the Jedi comic, the orange one. That's the one that first caught me. I was like,
yes, sir.
Look at it real quick.
Yep.
And what I did was I grab it and I scanned it on eBay because I use the eBay scanner. Yeah. Next thing you know, I see the price of what a mint one is going for. CGC graded.
Boom. Look at you. The graded thing. Yeah. Jeremiah's next. I'm
wrap.
actually surprised he hasn't started yet. It'll be I give it 2 more weeks and he's got his first one because he's gradually asking questions. So
that's how it starts, bro.
It is how it starts. So funny. What did the guy tell you in the store that we were in? He said, warned you. What did he tell you?
He said, word of advice from a 40-year collector, this is like a drug.
Yeah, he said you have to manage it. He
literally said, it is like a drug.
I can say that in my lifetime, I've always collected something. So I've always been a collector. Through cards, shoes, just random stuff. But specifically comics, I can say it has been the most intense addiction when it's come to collection. Like I've never been as intense, not even with sneakers. With sneakers, it wasn't as intense. It was just certain shoes come out, you want them, you try to go for them on drop. Yeah. And I never really supported the resale market much anyway, so it was kind of like if I could get them for a deal. But I've never dealt with anything that has been intense as the comic.
I think it's because with how many of them they are, and in the different conditions they come in. Because you could find a grail of a comic that's in amazing condition. Next thing you know, that same one is worth You know,
Yeah, it's nuts.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
I
and
feel like it's just a rush of finding.
And it's a trickle down effect, because for me, it just started of, I wanted a few graded comics for Star Wars to match the Office vibe.
A few.
Then it was like that really ramped up to where I was like, all right, there's a lot of them I want to just go through the whole Star Wars catalog. And then it was like getting into the Disney vintage.
Mm-hmm.
And now I find myself Spider-Man, Venom, X-Men, like you name it. It's just a full-on shit show now, dude. Like,
I think what contributed to me hopping in it too was how many comic stores are out there, bro. First of all, I've never noticed so many vintage comic antique like collectible stores until now.
There's no
bro,
way
there's like one every fucking other couple miles.
Yeah,
I swear.
There's no way there's always been this many
I don't
comic
know.
stores.
I don't know.
I don't really either.
There's literally like 5 within Castleberry by himself. Like you got that comic thrifting
Yeah.
comics up the road, or like in in like a diameter or whatever. There's just
dude,
a lot, bro.
There is, and what we've noticed too is they're always busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in these stores, man. So that's really cool, man. We enjoy it. And I think from an investment aspect, and again, maybe people watching are more educated than I am on this, but I've been putting a lot of thought into it lately. I was talking to you earlier about, possible moves financially. One thing that I've really been thinking about is like as an asset and as an investment, because everybody knows, if you know me specifically, I love crypto.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, crypto is also driven by the economy. It's backed by a dollar still right now, right? But it's driven by markets. And so one thing I've noticed, or at least I kind of assume, I don't really have a fact about this because I haven't been in it long enough, but I'm realizing that it feels like the comic thing is a safe investment because it's not determined by a market. An economy or what's going on in the stock market or what's going on in elections doesn't really seem like it would affect comics like it would crypto or stocks or other assets. So it doesn't seem as volatile. So it just seems like they either hold their value or they increase in value. Like you don't really see them going backwards or just losing their value, especially once you got it locked in on a grade. So for me, I'm looking at it as, man, this is safe because there's so many, every generation is into this stuff. And it just seems like a safe place to put money right now.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out. It's hard to think of what could really go wrong collecting comics. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't rise in value like you think it might.
But it holds.
But it holds, yeah.
Worst case scenario.
I don't see...
Worst case scenario. But there's also, let's just say that's the case. Let's just say it just maintains its value. The fact that it doesn't lose is safer than anything because when you think about investing, you think about putting your money in a savings account, right? You could lose it.
Shit.
You could spend it.
Yep.
You think about saving cash at the house. You can spend it. You invest into any type of asset, cryptocurrencies, stock market. You could lose it. But when you have something like that, it just at least remains the same. So it seems like a safe place to put money. And then if you need to revisit or to get that money, it seems like it's easy to sell because there's so many platforms now, whatnot, in eBay and all these different things. You could just flip it pretty quick, even if you just set it for what, like a floor price. I don't know, man. I've been thinking a lot about it lately. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's driven by passion and demand. And that's a safe bet when it comes to an investment. It's not determined by a market. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot lately, man, like, most of our stuff is in cryptocurrency. And I know that it's exciting right now because we're on like this rally, I think is what they call it. But it's pretty much a fact that we're going to see a pretty big dip at the end of this year. Just going to happen.
Start scooping.
It's going to happen, right? It's elections. There's all of these, war threats and all of this stuff is going on. So at the end of the day, we're going to see another downturn. So I've been thinking lately about like, do I pull out to get back in when it's low? Maybe take a little bit also and move it over to some comics. I don't know, man.
Now, this isn't financial advice for anybody watching. We're solely just thinking about opinions and just really contemplating
we gotta
different
put that out
actions
there.
we could take.
Yeah,
Next thing
don't
you know, we
follow
get
my
fucking-
financial advice at all.
Or maybe you
I am
could, and we, you know, one step closer to being canceled by June. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, but don't
No,
dump
that's
your life savings and go buy comics and then say that we told you to do it, because I would do that, but I wouldn't advise anyone else to do that.
If you think about it, though, like most people, a lot of people actually, they put their investments or their money into art, things like art. And I feel like comics
sure.
and all that, it's in the same realm.
I think it's safe.
So yeah,
You need some money, go pull one and throw it up on eBay for an auction real quick or whatnot.
yep.
Plus, it sounds like a justifiable reason to go buy more for me. So,
No, man. No, it makes sense, bro.
Like,
you just gotta find more room. Figure out where
I'm
to put
out.
these comics.
I'm out of room. I'm
Yeah.
out of room at the house. I'm out of room here. That's becoming a problem.
I also realized how easy it is to get a bunch of comics. Like, I just started last week. I probably have like 30 already.
Yeah.
I swear. I swear. Nah, bro. I
Dude.
got like fucking 30.
Oh,
Just
my
because
God.
I went and bought a couple single ones just here and there. Right, like $2-3 each. But then I bought like a mystery pack at a comic store. And they come in like $6, but you get a pack of like 10. So you just never know what's gonna be in there. I mean, I found some pretty decent ones, which actually brings me to the next topic, is being able to flip these comics.
Yeah.
Like you can buy these things in bulk, sell them
sure.
on Whatnot or eBay for $3, $4, $5 each, and easily make your money back.
For sure. That's a very standard price.
Yeah.
$3 for a comic, man. Most of the shows that I've gone to, that's like your base. You may have a $1 comic box.
Yeah.
But funny, I'm gonna Saturday, we had a week from hell last week, just mentally. Jenna and I did. We mentally just absolutely an exhausting week, and it took like a real toll. Like we were just burnt. Just so much going on, right? And then two, it just eventually catches up with you. So anyway, we'll get into some of that maybe. But Saturday morning, she goes, let's just go to Winter Park and walk around and just not work or anything. Well, on the way, I decided, you know what? There's this coffee comic store in Winter Park, or right outside of Winter Park, that I've been wanting to check out. But I got to be cautious because the poor girl backs me and supports me in everything. So we're constantly going to shows and stores and all of this.
Toy conventions.
Dude, always. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I texted you and I'm like, hey, where's that store at? And it on the way to Winter Park. So now I'm thinking to myself, all right, maybe I could just squeeze by there real quick. Long story short, I talked to her. She's like, of course we can. Go by and get a coffee and check out the comic collectible store. We pull into the lot. I get out of the car. She gets out of the car. I turn around. Here comes Josh swooping up in the parking lot.
Slide in the Civic in the parking lot.
She's like, was this planned? I'm like,
Yeah.
no. And then we go in and get our coffee. We kind of went our separate ways. We said what's up, but I go in there and turn around and Josh is in the corner talking to the owner of the store or something, man. He's got all type of stuff
Bro,
going
I'm
on.
making
Hey, can
moves.
you get this graded? I need
Making
this.
moves,
Let
yo.
me get that in this account. I'm like, damn.
Hey, man.
It's funny.
It's fun though. Like I realize it really is a lot of fun. Personally, I've never collected anything though.
Yeah.
So to get into comics being the first thing that I actually collect, aside from Pokemon cards when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I didn't see that as collecting anything. It was just like, oh mom, can I get a pack of cards?
Yeah.
I didn't have the intention of like, oh, I'm gonna collect them all. It was just fun. And Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but fucking comics now.
That stuff's big though. Pokemon.
It is,
and all
it
that.
is.
Gary V says that now we should be paying attention, which is also good.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is a good thing. It's fun. You gotta
That's
have
dope.
something to do.
Hell yeah,
It's cheaper than sneakers.
way cheaper.
Yeah. Or at least you get more. You can get a lot of things that are exciting for what a pair of sneakers would be. So it's fun. Got to have something to do outside of work, man. It's like, I think that's what happened to us, right? It's like,
That's the thing. It's not work.
yeah, it's not
not
work
work.
and there's no, that's why I don't even really do the flipping thing. Like, I think it would be fun. I may take some of it and just experiment with it, but I just need something in life that's not driven on work or a goal of being some type of business. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I like that.
I leave next week. Leaving next week.
Oh shit.
What happened
Yo, something big happened this week.
this week?
They shot the balloon down.
Dude,
They finally popped that motherfucker.
We were going to talk. I already had it in my mind. But we were going to
Hey,
jump right into it. Because
I
I was
forgot
going to
about that
segue
one,
that
yeah.
into the balloon. I was going to get into the
Yeah.
world event stuff. So we'll just jump right into that. You know,
Got to. Which before we do, I did want to say, just welcome back to the GBC show.
oh yeah, we just
Thank you guys for tuning in. These episodes, we usually just kind of have fun and jump right into topics.
then we do the intro halfway through.
Yep, that was, it's
Yeah.
starting to become a trend.
Actually, you know what? We should just do that from now on. Anyway, you aren't gonna get our intro till midway through.
Exactly.
So
Hey, fuck it.
with that being said, welcome.
Subscribe.
Subscribe on social media.
Yep.
The whole nine, everything's there, and on all the audio. Is that what they call audio streaming platforms?
Yeah, like
I was
Spotify,
listening to our podcast on Spotify the other day. Thought it was pretty cool. So check that out. The balloon. Maybe this might be
So
one of
many
these little
questions.
cancel things. So, I don't mind. I don't mind giving my opinion.
Go for it.
That shit should have been shot down in the first 10 minutes, man. I'm just saying, like, in the first 10 minutes, it should have been shot down. Now, I did hear some scary theories.
We're going to go into theories now for the balloon.
Theories, yeah. Let's
I'm
go
ready.
into some TikTok theories.
I'm ready.
That's what I call them now. Not conspiracy theories. It's TikTok theories.
Okay.
They're saying it was possibly a dry run for a EP. What is it?
The EMP.
EMP.
So you think that was a setup for the EMP just to see like our reaction times to it or something?
Well, I hope it wasn't, because damn.
Just jump right
we
in,
just
no
watched
holding
it
back.
go all across the U.S. like this. Oh, and
Bro.
it's like the military's like, yo, there's China spy balloons and nothing's happening.
Now, how did they know that it was from China though?
I don't
Like, did
know.
somebody go up there and read a label? Like, did it say made from China on the label?
I really don't. That was great though.
That-
I have no idea, honestly, man. I know that it was like, I think it was going viral on social media at first, right? People were just posting because it was like going across South Carolina and all of this, and all of a sudden, yeah, I don't know how they came to the conclusion it was from China, but the fact that it lasted for days is
Scary.
And then if it was something for a dry run, how bad do we look?
Yeah, I will say, part of me understands maybe the precaution you got to take when shooting something like that down. One, you don't know what's in it. Two, like debris and things like that. So there's like that side of that equation. But then on the other hand, is like you got a balloon floating from China here, and you telling me you couldn't shoot that shit down in the Atlantic somewhere or the Pacific?
Dude, I heard
or
it
in the
flew
Bermuda
over.
Triangle.
I think they caught it over a military base at one point. Can we verify
Are you
that?
serious?
Can we verify that while
Research
we're on the
department.
podcast? Like, just
Yeah, we got
simultaneously?
to.
Because, dude,
Hell yeah.
I heard that. And listen, this is probably why I'm not in politics. But, hey, man, you might have some debris. But you got to shoot that shit down, man.
Yeah, no,
You just got to give a quick alert to let everybody know, get out of the way. And you got to knock that down. But it was over a military base?
Saturday after travel over military site.
That's fucking wild.
Over Montana, which is the home of America's 3 nuclear missile fields and Air Force base.
Oh,
Yo,
my gosh. There we
Fucking
go.
breaking news.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So
They released photos of them recovering the balloon too. Maybe I put them on the Potter, but look,
yeah, throw them up there. Let me
You
check
see
this
that?
out real
you
quick.
can scroll down there.
So yeah, how did they know?
Like, y'all can see everything, and you telling me you couldn't spot a balloon?
It's a big
and it's
balloon.
a 200-foot tall balloon. It says it right here.
Damn, I didn't realize that. So we got nuclear.
It was a blimp.
They thought that
Man.
shit was a fucking ESPN blimp
Here,
coverage.
what I know is this, and I think anybody will agree because I don't have a political side. So, anybody can come at me. I'm not on either side. But what I do know is this, and I'm all right with saying this. We need some power. We need some leadership, especially in situations like this, because I feel like this makes us look like fools. We've always been known as a badass nation. You can't be having balloons just floating
fucking
over
floating
military bases just for a few days,
Yeah.
just to see what's going on. It makes me wonder, what all did they find out?
Yeah.
Or what information do they have now, or how do we look?
Apparently, it wasn't equipped to really gather much recon either. From what I read, you can check my sources if you're watching this.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna have to look
then
more
again,
into
it's like you just stuff like that. You can't really chance. You know what I'm saying?
Plus,
You
let's
can't
not
chance that,
look
bro.
down the fact that China's super technologically advanced.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what type of technology is may have been used. Also, I think the week before, we're in the whole politic thing now, which is fun. We're treading dangerous waters. I know
Yeah, we
we're
are.
treading
Yeah.
dangerous waters. Jeremiah
it.
wanted to stoke the fire.
Yeah.
We're over here talking about life, and he's like, "Hey,
Balloon.
let's get into this balloon."
Yeah.
There was a Russian
The fucking Russian boat.
just rolling up on the coast. I don't know. I don't know,
that's
man.
wild.
It's scary times. It really is scary times because, you got all of this stuff going on. You got, obviously our own internal country issues.
Mm-hmm.
And we still can't even get along. So it's like, damn, Paul Biden, man, he just
Paul Biden.
Paul Biden, man,
Man.
bless his heart.
Yeah.
Bless his heart, man. They need to get that man good care.
Yeah.
Get that man some good care, man, and let him go ahead and enjoy the rest of his life in a retirement home. Or
I didn't realize it was that bad on Biden. I didn't realize he was like that. Like when we first put him in office, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he was that bad.
he declined majorly, but I think they may. I don't know. You believe in cloning? You think they clone these people?
I wouldn't put it past. I mean, if it's an idea, then that means somewhere, somehow, yeah, shit is getting experimented with. If it's, even if it sounds comical as an idea, there's definitely some truth
You
behind
think they
it.
clone celebrities and musicians and stuff? When they, like, say for example here, first person comes to mind is Gucci Mane. They said when he came out of jail, they cloned him. He was a clone.
Yeah.
And I think they're saying now too, NBA YoungBoy, which I'm not very familiar with him or his music, but I know that he recently, I guess, did this interview and he's like talking about how bad he feels about his music.
Yeah, he's actually trying to. It seems that he's trying to articulate himself much better now and switch his whole style.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, he was saying, I saw a clip where he was talking about how, he feels really bad about the music that he was putting in people's ears, which I think is applaudable, man. It's
sure.
It's tough as a rap fan and a hip hop head to be hypocritical.
Yeah.
But there is a hypocrisy to it, right? Because when you do think about some of the content. But anyway, they're saying he's a clone, and they say these people have clones. So I've heard that Biden was a clone.
My question would be why? Like if cloning is real and all that shit, what's the purpose?
Yeah,
you know what
right?
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what's the deeper purpose behind it?
Like maybe, well, presidents are puppets.
Talk your shit. Goddamn.
It's just facts, So at the end of the day, I think everybody out there knows, or a president is just a basically a front end of decisions being made on the back end. So maybe it's something they take people that people like or something. I don't know, man. We're about to have to go through elections again, so I don't even know what to expect. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna get rough. I think it's gonna get rough. I think we do the elections in November.
What are we doing? Presidential elections, or are we doing like House?
It's presidential. I think both,
Is
right?
it?
But I think we begin because January or February 2024 is when we would be assigned a new president. We're gonna research this stuff live. Don't they do this on Rogan, man? It is live.
Rogan.
Now we aren't as fast as Jamie, man. Jamie will have that shit up real fast. But let's see. Let's see. Are you pulling it up? But I do think we go through presidential elections. So when you take that on top of everything else, man, it's it can get tough. What I say though is this: while we're looking at that, it's obviously we want to talk about it because I always believe in staying aware and educated on things that are going on, but don't get lost in it. Let's just say all this stuff. At the end of the day, don't let it stop life. Can't let it stop what you're doing. You got to keep moving, and just pray for the best. Take steps and precautions to make sure that you can protect yourself as much as possible, but try not to fall into the doom and gloom because it will get you.
Just stay prepared. So I was looking up like the next presidential election. So it does say 2024. And If my phone can take.
So
a
does that
moment
mean
here.
we elect in 2024? Or they start in 2024?
I don't know.
I
So
think-
on January 31st, the Post and Courier reported that former South Carolina governor planned to announce a presidential campaign on February 15th. So maybe the campaigns begin on February 15th and they kind of run through the year
Yeah.
to get prepared for 2024 elections. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next year is when we're gonna be running. So, but all of that stuff's gonna be hyping up then. So the end of this year.
You ever notice how old and how fast presidents get old when they're in office?
Boy, I couldn't.
Bro, they go from fucking,
November 20.
I don't know, like they turn gray fast.
real fast. That is not a job I would want.
Me neither.
That's just
much.
too much. That's just too much pressure. I know they don't sleep. There's no way they get sleep.
Can't. All that pressure that they deal with.
It says the United States will hold the 60th presidential election on November 5th, 2024. The winner of 2024 presidential election will be sworn in office by January 20th of 2025.
Okay, so end of the year, next year.
Speaking of 60 and presidentials, we should put an age cap on presidents.
Bro.
Like, I feel like, there should be an age cap. I'll be honest, man, and this is no jab at anything age-wise, but I feel like maybe 60 should be the age cap. I think if you're over 60, you're disqualified. Love all you out there over 60. But you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be 40, so listen. 20 years, I'll be 60. But I think after 60, I don't think we should be having a president. I think we need some young innovation in there, but that could also be dangerous because the young people don't think clear nowadays either. So they just seem to be confused. So I don't know. I feel like we should take a break.
Just take a break from everything.
Yeah, I just feel like we should just take a break, man. I think 4 years off.
For a couple years.
4 years off, man. I'm a big fan of state government.
State governments, yeah.
I like state government, man. I think, we should have our military and leadership that protects our country as a whole. And, leaders in the sense of generals and military forces and all that to make sure as a whole we're protected. But I like state governments. I like each state making their own laws and making their own decisions and being governed the way that they could be governed, because too, that opens up options. So if you don't like the laws in Florida or California, whatever the case is, you can just move to another state, all this federal law stuff. And, I don't know, man, but
it's like so much to consider, right? Like what are the positives and the weaknesses of having a state government versus having, nationwide federal government that runs everything.
Yeah.
Like what are the and it's amazing too how long we've been doing this, and it's still a topic that's it's not talked about often. Not many people truly understand how government works.
No.
And shit like that, and and what to look for. Like there's a lot that's just like unspoken.
But that's a great
which is
point.
crazy.
It's been done for so long.
Yeah.
Sometimes things need to change.
Yeah.
It's all right to change and refresh. I wonder if it will change in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it will. There's a lot going on, so it has to change at some point.
We'll see.
What in other news? Is there any other news that happened this week? We had the balloon, ChatGPT. So we'll go from politics to internet.
Yeah, ChatGPT's been going wild.
Well, Google's coming. It's a big war right
Oh.
now between Microsoft and Google. So Microsoft is fully behind ChatGPT.
So who owns ChatGPT? Is it kind of like privately owned?
Yeah, I think it's just a bunch of investors, but Microsoft, I think, is heavily behind it now. They invested, billions of dollars behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But now Google's going to war with it with Bard. So I was actually in
Bard,
there.
that's what it's called?
Yeah, I was actually in
Bard.
there literally this afternoon prior to this. I'm trying to find out how to get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't succeeded at that yet, but apparently it's built into the Google search engine. So maybe by the next, or little plug here, but Tech Talk is a series that we do on the One Source Branding YouTube, where Alex and Matt typically talk about new technology. And I know we're filming this week. Alex is filming, and I think this is going to be a big topic of his. But the rise of AI is
It's crazy, bro.
crazy right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how companies innovate from this point, because you had ChatGPT kind of be like the poster child, right, of that AI experience, right, that consumer product. But now Google taking what ChatGPT did and trying to expand on that, and then things like Notion and Canva integrating AI
Bananas.
in their software. Like, what's the innovation going to look like in the next couple years?
The going beyond what we know as Alexa and Siri, so you can actually YouTube this, and you guys should YouTube it, and anybody out there listening should YouTube it. But if you want to see something crazy, but this should also show you how advanced or ahead of the curve Google may be. So they did a panel a few years ago. This is what it did. Basically, in a nutshell, like nowadays you would just tell Siri or Alexa, hey, remind me to make an hair appointment. Nah. What they did, and they showed it live, you would say, hey, whatever your AI is, book me a haircut on Thursday, February 4th, but anytime between 1 and 2. And they recorded a live call. This robot, you would have never known, called an actual hair salon. They recorded it live. The hair salon goes, hello. And the AI goes, hi, how are you today? Good, how are you? I would like to make an appointment for Josh on February 4th between 1 and 2. And then the lady's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Let me check availability. She has no clue she's talking to a robot. That's how real this sounds. We're going to watch it. As soon as we get off of this, I'm going to show you guys, because this was years ago.
That's scary.
So basically, the lady on the salon comes back on, and she's like, yeah, I have a 1:30 available. And the robot's like, yeah, we'll take it. Books the entire appointment, and it's done. And this was Google's technology that they were introducing to crowds, again, at least five years ago, if not more.
That's crazy.
And I think that's a glimpse into...
I wonder if like you can like fuck with the robot and be like, we got 159 available, and the robot
just be like, I don't know, man.
I'm just playing, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just really fucking with the.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be wild. We saw
That's crazy.
Jeremiah and Jenna and I were in Minnesota a few weeks ago, and we saw robot servers.
Robot servers.
Yeah.
Like they'll come out and bring you your food.
Yeah. It was.
Get
I think
the
it was.
fuck
I
outta
think it was a
here.
sushi restaurant.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, they were just running through. And I know out west, because one thing too, man, is you can always look at California as like a beta ground. So you can see a lot of stuff that's happening. So I know that a few hotels, if you need towels or whatever, there's
they'll run it to
robots
you.
and stuff that'll bring them to you. So,
That's interesting.
That's
interesting.
the rise of AI.
Or even the security that they're doing now against AI. You know how like now they're releasing something where it can tell if the text that you have on your either on a paper or something like that was written from AI or not. Which actually I don't understand, because if AI is supposed to sound like a human, how do you know that it was written from?
There's got to be a way to,
You know what I mean?
there's got to be a way to glitch it, because one thing I'm learning, because I actually have been spending a lot of time at night learning prompt, because that's everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to ChatGPT, and a lot of what we know and what we do and how we use it still is very surface level. And so I've even been seeing lately, like, learning how you prompt it will determine on what type of output you get, and having it speak as a certain thing. So let's take marketing, for example. We would typically say, oh man, I got a dope example of like video. But you would basically say, as a social media manager, do this, this, and this, and this. And it puts itself in that position. So it's not just giving you the information that you're asking for. You actually prompt it to put itself in the position of what you're trying to get out of it. In the position of a middle school teacher, give me this, this, and this, and this for this age group of this type of student, and do it in this format. So I don't think that they're going to be able to. The only thing I think that it can read it is obviously like Google, because Google's AI.
That's interesting.
So AI has to be able to recognize AI.
So it's basically the skills that you develop on how to properly prompt AI.
That's going to be the kicker.
Interesting.
I think.
I like that.
Yeah. That's going to be. That's why I also think we're safe to a point, because we still have to, all of this AI right now, at least, it still has to be driven.
Yeah.
So I think now's the opportunity where learning how to properly use AI and get ahead of that curve is probably the focus that most people will want to be in.
Yeah.
Because you have to prompt it, and learning how to talk to it. But it's a lot, man. So now
it's definitely crazy.
thinking about this is all in a week.
Yeah.
This is all in a week. So we were talking about the balloon, the Russian spy ship, and now talking about this AI. A lot of these announcements have just come out this week.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is the fastest growing web application in history. Like, think about that. 100 million users.
That's fucking crazy, bro. It's like it's becoming easier and not. I don't want to say easier and easier, but you're starting to see these record-breaking numbers much quicker. You gotta like what was before ChatGPT that really broke records like that?
Not anything that I can think of. Probably like TikTok was probably one of the
TikTok was
fastest
probably
growing
the last
apps.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because TikTok outperformed Google in 2021, I think it was, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So
It seems like every year though, since like 2020, like there's been new innovations almost every year.
yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, that's bananas. So I was looking, so Instagram, okay. I was curious about users. TikTok, YouTube has 2.2 billion active users.
That's one app I still think is going to be around for like the long haul. Like nowadays, a lot of people are saying TikTok has like an end date, right?
Yeah.
TikTok has a date to where
can
one
see
day
that.
it's just going to be gone, just with all the government conspiracies and all the privacy issues. But I think YouTube has like the biggest longevity in all of this.
Dude, you can go pull videos 2 years ago of me saying this. I think YouTube will be the king at the end of it all because it has everything.
Mm-hmm.
We spend a lot of time on YouTube, but think about it. You can now get your TV shows.
Yep.
You can rent your movies. You can stream and listen to your music. You can learn.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything on YouTube. So I think it's going to...
What do you think AI would look like on YouTube?
I don't know. I was just thinking.
Like, how do you think YouTube would use AI?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's going to be wild.
Maybe that's a question for the audience. See if they can drop some opinions or comments in the comment section below.
Yeah, how would
that's interesting.
YouTube use AI? I know AI is becoming big in the music industry right now.
Really?
Yeah. And then talk about AI, Mid-Journey. Got to keep an eye on Mid-Journey. I've been playing around with it, but
I haven't played with that yet.
it's tricky.
That's that shit that makes images.
Yeah, but it's also very prompt driven. So it's in a Discord. So you have to prompt it in a Discord channel. But that's what's crazy is that you have all of these people in one Discord spitting out prompts. And it's basically a
just
robot
soaking
that's
up
in there
knowledge.
responding to you, right?
Yeah.
But it's all in the prompt.
Damn.
It's all in like whatever you're trying to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's actually this page. So again, I'm a Star Wars fan, so I'm all right with being a Star Wars nerd. But there's a page on Instagram now that I'm following that is called AI Jedi Art. And so what this page is dedicated to is all visuals on this page were created with artificial intelligence. Star Wars is all he focuses on. Now, I've been talking to this guy because I wanted to make sure it was Mid-Journey that he was using, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Mid-Journey is a whole nother level of the ability to prompt this robot. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been playing around with it, and it's very hard
To get what you want.
to really get it to do something amazing.
Got you.
Now you can get nice and cool things, but it's not a general, hey, make me an image of this.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to learn how to prompt it to get it to generate amazing art. But,
Got you.
and I don't know if we can throw this up, but I would love to. But for an example, this is just some of the art that this AI has been prompting.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's unbelievable.
Damn.
Can we throw that
Yeah,
this up
hell
in the
yeah.
video? So
you got it. Can I screenshot it?
yeah.
And then we'll
So
just- damn.
you've got that. This is just one. This is just one.
Damn, look
dude.
at that Batman one, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Yeah, that's fire.
It's bananas. So yeah, it's crazy. There's so many different avenues right now that is coming out with
That shit
AI.
look like a real movie scene.
Yeah, so I actually had it do some Mickey Mouses,
Get the fuck out of here.
and they're dope. And actually, my VV picture is an AI generated entrepreneur style Mickey Mouse that I had Mid-Journey create.
I gotta see that.
And we'll throw these images up too. Am I talking too much about throwing things up? Is it too hard?
No, you just screenshot it.
Okay.
Screenshot it. We'll put it up.
Okay.
I'll be able to follow.
Yeah.
What's crazy too is, have you seen the house party, the AI generated house party?
No.
Yo, that shit is freaky, bro. It's freaky.
What?
It looks very eerie. Like it's actual photos of people at a house party, and it looks like they're taking pictures from a vintage camera, but it's completely AI generated. Only thing that AI seems to have trouble with are people's hands. So like their fingers have like 6 or 7 fingers on them. Their hands have like 6 or 7 fingers, but everything else, bro, looks fucking spot on.
It's only going to get better. So think about it. What's the next year going to be? Right? I know I was trying to find the Mickey. I'm going to show you and Jeremiah after this podcast, and then we'll throw some of it up. But so now we've got the rise of artificial intelligence. We've got, you know, all of the world things going on that we talked about. We talked about the comics.
Look at that shit, bro.
This is AI. This isn't real.
That's not real at all. You can scroll through and just kind of click on a photo. Look how crazy that looks.
So this actually triggers something I want to talk. This is where we're going to have to be cautious.
Yeah.
As humans, because there's also a podcast that somebody created with AI. So AI voice is big right now. So you can get, you know, AI to talk. There's a lot of programs out there. I have a whole list of artificial intelligence websites that I've been looking into. But basically, somebody recorded a podcast that was AI, one in the voice of Steve Jobs and one in the voice of Joe Rogan, and they did an hour long or longer than an hour podcast together with the artificial intelligence talking to each other. And you would think that if you shut your eyes and listen to this podcast, you would think that Steve Jobs was sitting with Joe Rogan and they actually had a podcast.
So what did they just program the voice to the AI, and then whatever they speak with each other, one responds, and then they just keep responding?
They had a conversation.
That's scary.
They had a conversation. So, but that's where I think it's going to get scary, because think about this. Think about where we're talking about, like clone or presidents, or, you know, we're so affected by media and what we see. How are we going to distinguish what's real and what's not? You know what I mean? Like, say somebody gets on TV and says something. How do you know it's factual and it's not? Or how do you know if it's real?
And I think we're already starting to see just the amount of misinformation that's going on now. It's fucking ridiculous. So imagine with AI, like how can that, these things can help us, right? Like social media and all that can help us, but how can it also be against us? And I think that's where you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like what can AI really do on the opposite side? You know?
I wonder,
really fuck us up.
It could. And I wonder if that's what we're going to experience with like the changes in the internet. Because too, you know, we need to turn this into a tech talk, because
No, facts.
The virtual reality and augmented reality stuff, where I saw, you know, somebody put an actual digital store on the beach. So they're physically at the beach, okay? But they can put the store, and this is what these brands will be able to do. Say, for example, you're at the beach, you can pull up a Nike AR store and actually be at the beach and walk into that store and be immersed in that store and not know that you're at the beach anymore.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and this is all going to come out with Apple's glasses. Now the avatars are full body, so Meta did that update.
I'm not even aware of that.
It's full body. So Meta just released a new Oculus update. So you have full body now. It's not just top half, right? You've got, you know, Apple's about to release their glasses, and they're basically going to compete with the Oculus. So
full AI, baby.
I think it's going to be very hard to distinguish what's real and what's not real. I think in the next decade, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Bananas.
There's definitely going to be a mix between the two. Like, I think we're going to be walking around with the, what's the term for it? Where you kind of like mixed realities? Where it's like, we'll be like this, but I still have like a digital glasses to do some shit.
Are you for it?
Am I for it?
Yeah.
I mean, if I need to use it as a tool to do whatever I'm doing, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I personally don't want to like lose touch with reality, though. That's what I don't want.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But I also don't, you know, I made a promise that I'll always be willing to evolve with the world around me. So I'm like, am I a fan of some of this stuff? Like, it's nerve wracking, but I also don't want to be that old man that's like, I ain't, you know, I'm not doing this. You know, I've always said. So I think for me, I'm just going to adapt to it.
Yeah.
But hopefully not lose perspective of like reality and what's real. And
I'm more curious, what are all of the challenges that are going to come from it? like health, right? What's health gonna look like in the next few years? Are we gonna be suffering from shit that's caused by all this technology around us? You know what I mean? Like what's the effects of that?
I would hope that health advances. There's a cool concept, and I don't. Again, it's tricky too, but I hate to reference Disney. There's this basically this ride at Disney Magic Kingdom. I don't even know the name of it because I don't. It may be at Epcot. Mm-hmm. I don't even know the name of it. I've done it once, but it basically takes you through the past and the future of what Walt had imagined. Okay. Now, when you're going through this, because Epcot was initially supposed to be a community, that wasn't supposed to be a theme park. His vision for it was a community. Okay. But when you're on this ride, it takes you through the future and the future imagined by Walt. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I remember was health. So basically what it is you can take something like you take this supplement, and what it'll do is it'll catch at the very beginning anything that is wrong. Anything. A cold, a cancer, a disease. Like at the very first sign of a stage, it would alarm and alert this, right? And then it'll alert you, and it'll alert your physician, and it'll automatically create a plan of action before it even starts. So for an example, you have this, and again, I don't know if it's, embedded or you know, you're just taking it every day, but imagine this though. Think about, if you have this and you get alerted, the earliest sign that a cold could come on in the next 2 weeks. Boom. All right, take this dose of vitamin D, this, and this immediately. And then it never take root. Or think about even a cancer or something.
Yeah. I can see that happening for like the bigger, like cancers and, things that are more
crazy.
terminal illnesses. Because then I think like when you say that, the first thing that came to my mind was like, all right, antibodies, like we got to get sick. That's how our bodies, you know what I mean? That's how our bodies build the resistance to certain things. So that's fucking very innovative though.
Yeah. I know
crazy.
too, they're close to some anti-aging stuff that Joe Rogan was talking about, that they're not far from figuring out how to make us live longer. Yeah.
Then comes the question, how long do you really want to live?
I like 250.
250? God damn.
Listen, man, I honestly, genuinely, bro, I can say this. Like, I genuinely do love it here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I feel like we're at like this, I don't know, man. I feel like, you figure the average human probably safe to say an average age is probably 80
like
if you're
80,
fortunate, right?
Yep.
That's a very fortunate, I feel like that's a very fortunate life. Mm-hmm. If you make it to that 80 mark, you did good. Some people obviously live into their 90s. I don't feel like that's long enough.
No, I agree. I ask it from a perspective of like, at what point does it start to feel like an uphill battle where it's like, you know what I'm saying, where you get too old and you're just like, all right, like, I'm tired. I can't put my shoes on in the morning. Coffee don't taste the same.
Maybe through that, hopefully the anti-process would kick in too. I would hate to be, shitting myself for 150 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like how long do you want to fucking put diapers on? No.
When I say 250, I mean like progressing at a different rate.
Heard you.
I don't want to hit 80.
Yeah.
And then from 80 to 250 be 80. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That I don't want that, but I would like a little bit longer. Because I think it would be, so I'm all for it, man. If they could figure it out to live longer, that would be cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The things you would see, bro. 250 years?
I'm thinking next
we'll
5 years.
Probably be on the iPhone 500.
What you think the next 5 years? I think phones are going to go away. I think the next 5 years is going to be crazy.
I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around because of I think about how fast technology advanced from like 03 to now in the last like 20 years. So it really is hard for me to wrap my head around like what's going to be the next trend in phones and fucking cameras, especially, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being that's the industry I'm in.
Yeah,
like
cameras.
How far is it really going to go?
Yeah. I think we're a short amount of time though. Yeah. I think next 5 to 10 years probably be the most crucial for our lifetime. Mm-hmm. As far as just advancements and changes. So I don't know. Maybe we can get some engagement on this. What do you think in the next 5 years? what would happen? What will happen? Self-driving cars? Will we be all electric?
I
will
think we
AI
will,
be?
I mean, yeah. I
you
think
know?
all the cars now are being released all EV, so I don't see anything
Rick
being
Ross.
gas powered.
Rick Ross brought up a point on his Instagram that made me think twice about my Tesla, man.
What Ricky say?
Ricky Rose. Okay. He said, listen, you're not ever going to catch him in a Tesla or an electric car.
Why he like
And
that
they
old
asked
school?
why. Well, no, they asked why. And he says it has nothing to do with the power of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
He says it has to do with the fact that they could just be like, where's Ricky at today?
Oh, they can find you
right
quick.
there. Hey, go ahead. Let's put a stop to it and shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that, which is kind of scary.
No, it is, bro. It opens the door for
More control.
Control.
Yeah, more control.
But
That's scary.
then if you think about it,
yeah,
you
we're
know,
controlled.
yeah, like
this
your shit
is-
would be off and they can still find a location with it off.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like just because the screen's black don't mean your phone is really off.
No, if it was, you wouldn't be able to ask Siri or say
Uh-huh.
Siri's name and her just wake up.
Yeah,
It's listening at all times.
that shit. Big brother. What's
yeah,
this
big
here?
brother. Gary's throwing up a time here.
I love
4
it.
minutes and 46 seconds to what, an hour?
I love it.
For
For real? Damn.
Really?
Chopping it up, yo.
yeah,
It seems like every episode is getting longer and longer.
Yeah,
You know?
I think, because we typically 30 minutes to an hour, but it's good conversation. I think,
Yeah.
you know, when we talk about these things, there's a lot going on right now. So I think it's good. It feels good to be able, I'll be honest, it feels good to be able to talk about the random shit.
Yeah.
Because we're so business driven and industry driven. So, you know, on all of our channels, whether it's personal channels or one source channels or all of the projects that we have going, it's typically have to follow some type of path, right? Because it's in line with what we do. So this is good sometimes to get off that, you know, and again, I know it's greatness by choice. So we like to mix in the life stories and the business, but having an episode like this where we're just shooting the shit on random things feels good.
Yeah. Just get it all out.
Yeah. And I think hopefully conversation is important.
Yes.
Even if
sure.
it's out of the box or we don't agree, having the conversations are good. So, and then maybe we'll get more extreme with it again and hit that goal of getting canceled. I don't know. We didn't really say any, you know,
Yeah.
I said presidents shouldn't get old or be a certain age, right? That might ruffle some feathers.
He also said presidents are puppets.
Yeah, presidents are puppets.
You
Paul
said Joe
Biden
Biden's-
needs to go to a nursing home, you know? And if I was president, I would have shot that fucking balloon down in the first 2 minutes, no matter what debris went, you know? So, but hey, that's just I can only tell you what I think,
Yo,
you know?
for real. For
You know,
real.
that Russian ship would have got a nuke on it.
Hey, that Russian shit need to chill out.
Yeah, man, they need to go back, man. Somebody
Yeah.
needs to go ahead and take Putin out.
Nah, that was that. Yeah, that was wild, bro.
Yeah, they need to let that
Yeah.
man. They need to go ahead and
Yeah.
knock that man out, man. Let's get
For
him
sure.
off the earth, and so we can keep it moving. But with that, I don't know, man.
Entertainment purposes only. This is not actual advice. We're here just shooting the shit, having a good time on GBC.
Yeah, but
That is
cool. Well, with that, would that be a clip?
that's a clip.
Is that a clip?
Yeah, that's a clip, bro.
Yeah.
That's just gonna
Hey,
go
man,
out.
fuck Putin. Elon said it.
He did.
Elon said he would fight Putin in a wrestling match for
Stop.
world peace, right? Yeah. So I
to
don't
you.
mind saying
Yeah.
it, man. I really don't. I feel, you know what? I feel confident in saying it. You know, put that in a clip. I'll post it.
Just kind of to go back on the collectible thing. I was looking at Pokemon cards, and now the most popular Pokemon cards are the Top Sun. I think it's the Top Sun ones from Japan, I believe.
I wonder if, like, I've kind of run across these sweet deals where people don't really know what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you about earlier, right? The Facebook Marketplace. This guy called me because I bought 175 comics from him, but he didn't know how to use technology, so his neighbor is what was selling it. But long story short, he calls and he's like, I got over 2,000 comics. My son moved. This is kind of the same situation that happened with me with that Star Wars haul that I got. My question is like, I find these little cases where people have, you know, their kids left behind, stuff that they don't know about. And so they don't know what they have when it comes to comics. But I don't feel like it would be that way with Pokemon cards, right? Like, I don't feel like you would know, you'll find somebody who's like selling at a garage sale or marketplace a ton of Pokemon cards and not understand or know how to go through and maybe?
Sometimes. I mean, the only way I could think that'll happen is like if somebody older is like, oh, these were my sons or something like
And
that.
just gets rid of them?
Just wants to get rid
Might
of them.
wanna
Don't really
check on
care about them.
Marketplace.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I mean, there's always
stuff.
there's always a chance to run into some good ass cards, even at the collector stores.
Yeah.
Have you seen, bro? They have boxes of like fucking hundreds of Pokemon cards.
This guy right up here?
Yes,
We're gonna go.
That's what I was
gotta
looking
go.
through.
I gotta go. I
Bro.
gotta go see him again. I haven't seen him in a while.
Man.
It reminds me, y'all should watch a documentary. It's called Pez Outlaw. It's on Netflix.
Oh, you mentioned about that one.
So there was a Pez in
Candy.
Europe, a Pez in America, and then like a Pez in Asia or something like that. But anyway, there were these contracts between each one in these laws where the ones that Europe produced were illegal in the United States and they couldn't be sold here. So
Damn.
long story short, this guy found a loop around it and got a direct connection in Europe at Pez and started smuggling in Pez dispensers and made millions of dollars off of them. But they weren't supposed to be in the United States. So it's weird how there's certain toys and stuff like that aren't supposed to, they're not supposed to be here.
I wonder why. Like, what makes them say, oh, you can't bring that toy here?
I don't know.
That shit
And
was
this
made
was
or
the
something
same
like that.
company, but there was some type of battle between their United States division and their international divisions where they had like different contracts against each other, so they couldn't sell in each market.
They need to do that shit for our food.
Yeah.
We got all types of shit that is illegal in other countries, but we still have it in our food here.
A lot, especially on the
We
process
sitting
side.
here trying to outlaw Pez. Meanwhile, we still got Pop-Tarts on the fucking shelves.
Pop-Tarts are so good. I wish they
know,
weren't
but
bad.
you know
though.
the
Why they
shit
gotta
that's
be
in
so
those
good?
things?
No, I know Pop-Tarts are bad.
That's what first thing that comes to thought when you just said that.
Oh man, we should have an episode on Monsanto. We should talk about Monsanto.
We
Check this
inching.
out. Go to the
We
grocery
are
store.
inching.
Do this. Go to the grocery store. Check this out. If you know, there's probably a Walmart, a Target, or a Publix if you live in Florida, and then a Home Depot and a Lowe's. But check this out. If you go to the grocery aisle and look at your produce sections and look on the back of the bags, and then go to some of like your normal foods, look on the back of the bags, right? And then drive across the street to Home Depot or Lowe's and go on your like Raid aisles and Ant Killer and all that stuff and look on the bottom. It's the same company, manufactures both. Another fun fact for you, most of the
crazy.
stuff that you see in grocery stores, like organic this or like, say for example, meat, right? You got all this different meat. Most of it's produced by the same company. Yeah, it's not different types of companies.
It's just brand names are different, but it's
Yeah.
the same company producing it.
Yeah, and it's just bullshit because they find loopholes where it's a lot of times it's not really organic. Only way you can really determine that is actually looking at the ingredients.
Yeah.
You can't go by the label. But Monsanto, they make the food, spray the food, but then they get the loophole on the healthcare side too.
To
'Cause
market
most
the
of them
food.
are connected with Pfizer and all these big pill organizations.
Nah, we
It's
getting
a
there.
full circle. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
yeah.
now we getting there.
Yeah.
Because most people don't really understand how companies are structured that can really benefit them in multiple industries.
No.
So if you take a thing like a company like Monsanto who has ties in the health
Yeah.
industry and the insecticide industry.
Yeah. And if you really want to go deep down the rabbit hole, you'll find that some of the board of directors on Monsanto, you need to track them down because what you'll find is that like one board of director was over the FDA and wrote the laws. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I had
so a
no
lot
clue.
of these, yeah, man, it's bad. It's bad. So they wrote the laws. And so, of course, they know how to get around their own laws and loopholes. They wrote them. But getting sick is $1 billion, $1 trillion industry. So they need us. They need us with these diseases and stuff. But yeah, that's why at the end of the day, man, America don't really care for its own people. You know,
It's a free world.
we need a
out here.
revolution. Am I going to? It's getting
Nah,
very
keep
quiet
going.
in here.
I don't know what the fuck to say. That's big.
You know,
That's big
imagine.
because it's shit that again that's not talked about. Nobody talks
about
that's
it.
not at all.
Yeah.
You know.
It's scary to talk about because, you know, a lot of people don't want to think that way. They don't want to think like, oh, our government and wouldn't hurt us like that.
It's a dog world out there, baby.
Yeah.
Real doggies.
I'll bring some stuff. We can do a whole episode on this.
It's all public.
We have some information on
The jibby jabs?
Divock.
Oh, the Vok.
Yeah, we have some information
Damn.
on that, man. We will definitely get kicked off of YouTube.
Facts.
I know YouTube ain't gonna play around with that
Facts.
one, so I don't know, man.
I mean, we can talk about the Vok.
I mean, listen, if we want to really get canceled,
Yeah.
you know, could probably bring up some information and show you guys.
Public information, though. That's the thing. I want people to understand that. This shit is public. This ain't nothing. We ain't sharing the government secrets. It's out there.
Yeah, no. And then you can also just ask one question. Where is it? What happened? Where'd it go? You know? Where's everything, man? Like we shut everything down.
Bro.
Stopped from seeing family members, fathers that couldn't see kids being born, grandparents that died without their family members by their side, businesses shut down, kids getting mentally, you know, challenged from not having school, all of these things, mandatory laws that went into effect that, you know, crossed on the other side of the big push of, you know, being able to have a right to choose for your own body and all of these things. And then it just like, that's it.
That's
That's
it.
all.
I don't know,
If
man.
that doesn't scream agenda, then I don't know what to say.
what always got me was the like the types of events that were thrown. Like these things were marketed to kids. They had bounce houses and pizza, and it was just a jab party. You know what
Tell
I mean?
me you saw
It
the
was
New
a
York
fucking
governor.
jab event, baby.
Did you see him with the French fries?
No.
Oh,
No, what happened?
oh my God, bro. I don't know. Like, I've got to show you guys now,
Fuck it,
right?
bring it up.
So, and then, you know, obviously you could put this part up or you can edit this part out, but
the jibby jab.
dude, watch this. And then I'll actually take a pee break. But are we going to keep this going for a
Fuck
second?
it, yeah.
Okay, New York,
shit.
dude, you guys won't believe your eyes when you see this.
It can't be worse than Trump throwing paper towels at Puerto Ricans, was it?
Bro.
Motherfucker. My dog was throwing paper towels.
Can we put this? If you could put this up, this would be great. But this was New York encouraging their people. People are becoming more and more aware of this, where this type of topic and interaction and the things we're saying isn't as shocking as it would have been 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pretty much like, I think people know. You know, you do have the people out there that are like, oh my gosh, no. You know, but they just...
I mean, the dialogue has definitely opened up for these type of topics to kind of be covered, especially with podcasts now. Everybody's kind of, they're talking about the same types of subject. And maybe if they're not saying the exact same words, they're definitely tiptoeing around what needs to fucking be said.
I think it comes down to how large the influence is.
Yeah.
Is what kind of makes them pick and choose, you know, who they're going to silence and who they're not silencing, who's getting under the radar, and then who's like making global impacts. You know what I mean? You start making global impacts, then, you know, they're going to try to hush that, make that quiet.
So we trying to make GBC global? Or
Of course.
you know,
I would love to, dude. I've told you, listen, I've always been pretty open to, you know, expressing how I feel on certain things. So I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it, whether I'm the owner of a business or not.
Just
So,
opinions, baby.
yeah, and that's just how I feel. You
Yeah.
know? So put
Yeah.
that burger in your mouth and chew it. Eat those French fries.
Eat those French
You know?
fries. That man
I
has
don't like
no
the-
sauce
yeah,
on that,
dude.
too. That shit
Again.
look dry.
And hey, man, enjoy life. Don't fall for the gloom and doom. You know, just be
Right.
aware at all times. Do what you can to navigate through this world and this life as we know it, and I hope for the better. You know, you got to hope that things change because they have to change. If they don't change, then we won't have anything to change.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but that change will only be driven by being aware that although those things, when I say that, it's like, you know, it's funny and it's like almost like a moment when I say it or when we hear it, but it's truth. It's just how most people will feel. And we got to stop, like, you know,
Being scared to speak up.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting scared to say anything nowadays, man. You can't say anything. And I don't know, man. I feel like I do like I like a lot of things that happen in the way that we evolve as people in a country and how we care. You know, we open up the door for more equality, and but there's also a line that we, you know, we have to kind of draw to. We still have to be strong and be independent and believe in the people, and you know, so it's a fine line to cross. So there's a lot of things that come to mind right now, but I may bite the lip on those.
5.
Yeah. So we could split this one up into 2 episodes.
Nah, this is gonna be one good juicy episode.
Yeah.
We want you guys to run this up, get our view hours up.
Yeah.
That'll
Comment,
really help
fight
the
in the
channel.
argument, fight in the comments.
Hell yeah, we want y'all to argue in the comments. Like, I
Yeah.
want the comment section to be toxic.
Yeah, and then, you know, as long as you strong ones out there standing up, don't
Yeah.
be any little bitches, you know. And for all you keyboard trolls out there, hey man, we invite you to comment. We like you, and we'll
trolling.
respond to you. So,
Keep trolling.
but anyway, somebody's beating on the door.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap this podcast up. You want to close this out?
Yo, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe down below. This has been episode 4 of the GBC show.
Yeah,
Greatness by
episode 4.
Choice podcast.
Yep.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Episode 4.
It was a good one.